escalated the same thing, bit of a prick, don't get me wrong, but he threw the ball into the Salford fans, and when he scored his try, which was a lucky try anyway, he seems to jump around a lot in front of people, very Connorish in terms of like trying to goad people, I think. I just think he wants to watch himself because he doesn't want to become. You don't want to be focusing on those aspects because it detracts from your game.
It does.
And
it does.
As he's improving and getting better, I want him to become world class because that makes England better. And so I don't want him to detract from his ability with other things because we've seen other players go by the wayside with that. You know, Zach Hardacre comes out and says, "I'm the best fullback in the league," and then demonstratively proves that he can't fucking pass to anyone to score a try for the rest of the season after saying that. And Jake Connor, we talk about it all the time. I don't want Wellesby to go down that path of that sort. Don't get me wrong, cockiness is good. That's one thing. Confidence, great. But don't become a bit of a bellend. Please.
Yeah, don't be a bellend. That's that.
Getting two sin bins for two technical offences during a game is a bit bellendy.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll get called up on it by his coach, I'm sure.
Well,
not the second one, but
the
first one.
second one is exactly how he's coached.
Yeah.
But as is Knowles. But yeah, for me, Knowles was very lucky not to get sin-binned at the same time.
Awesome for chasing back.
Oh, that's why I'm pointing at it. That 20 seconds is St Helens all over, and that's what I want to say. The effort was outstanding. The dive was outstanding. The tackle was brilliant.
Yeah, remarkable.
But Knowles is by tackling from behind. Obviously, by nature, he's lost the kind of contest in terms of he has no right to get to marker. He has no right to, he's kind of out of the play in that sense. He's got to release the player. And he just didn't release him. I think he held on to him for about 3 or 4 seconds at least. And it's a professional foul. As it was, the attention was taken away because Wellesby had knocked over the dummy half. That's also a yellow card. But yeah, the chase back was amazing.
And we haven't talked about the Percival yellow card.
No. Well, I mentioned it in his clothesline.
There wasn't any sort of talk about it really either in the match review panel minutes. I didn't really see anything on it at all. I didn't even see it being. I couldn't even see it on the sheet, but I might have just missed it. But
no, I had a look because obviously there was 2 elements to it. I don't think he was actually sin-binned for the
high tackle.
For the high tackle, it was for the handbags, wasn't it? With Borough, I think.
Right.
Because
okay, because there was that was in the
because basically I don't know who the hit was on. I missed that from the highlights, but basically Salford players reacted because one of their players got hit high, and there was a bit of a schmozzle, and Percival reacted as he does a bit petulantly and saying, "Well, I didn't do anything wrong," and was pushing and shoving a bit, and that's why there was player sin-bin from both sides for that, because it was the penalty was given for the after effects rather than the actual high tackle.
Okay, fair enough. Maybe it wasn't a high tackle then. I got confused. Yeah. I thought the sin-bin was for what looked like a high tackle, because I thought that looked a bit grade A to me, just for complete balance as well. Just like I was really surprised Sam Halsall didn't get a grade A charge for the one that he did on the catcher as they were falling to the ground in the Wigan-Warrington game as well. I thought that one was careless too. So I thought both of them might have been grade A's, and Percival's had a few bans, so he would have been out, wouldn't he?
Well, I'm going to say it's not his first time for that offence. So yeah, there are elements of fortune for St Helens in this one, I would say. But yeah,
it's a display of their fortitude again, isn't it?
It's, as I said to you, that 20 seconds is St Helens. That's Wolf Ball. That 20 seconds is Wolf Ball.
A couple of Salford bits and pieces. Paul Rowley confirmed Rhys Williams and Alex Gerrard could both be set for spells on the sidelines after the game. Williams picked up an ankle injury while Gerrard has torn a muscle. It doesn't specify. Love Rugby League do some great reporting, so I'm not criticising them. They obviously didn't get the information of which muscle, but I'm sure they'll update us in due course when they get more. Callum Watkins got a grade B dangerous contact 1-match penalty notice that was downgraded disciplinary tribunal to a grade A. So that means he misses no games because it's hard to have a record when you're not fit to play. It's a little bit of a benefit of injury, even though I'm sure he won't see it that way, Callum. But all them tackles he made, and he obviously just got one of them wrong, but great hard effort from him, but unfortunately he's got one wrong. He's given a £500 fine though, because it's still a guilty verdict, and he's gone to a tribunal, so he has to pay that charge for that, but it means he's not going to miss any games, so positive with that. And Salford have exercised a 1-year extension option on the contract of Dion Cross, so he's going to stay there for next year. He's played, I think, every game pretty much this year. He's been a surprise hit for them, and keeping Watkins out of the centres, isn't he? So
yeah, no, he's been. I think he's been pretty good when I've seen him play in the limited chance I have seen.
In terms of like results versus expectation, is probably one of the signings of the season.
Yeah, because as you say, there wasn't much expectation, and he's performed well above nothing. So yeah.
Yeah. The TV game on Friday night was Warrington-Wigan. It was 24-10 to Wigan at half time. It finished up 40 points to 22 to the Warriors. 10,104 were there. Robert Hicks was the referee. In terms of the team stats, although Warrington had more carries and made the same number of breaks as Wigan did, Wigan made more metres and had a big 2.5 metres per carry better average gain. They also had a 3.3% better team tackle success rate, so Wigan won the efficiency stats.
Yeah, for Wigan, Brad O'Neill with 44 tackles, Bevan French with a try assist and 128 metres, Liam Marshall with 2 tries and 121 metres, and Liam Farrell with a try, 8 tackle busts and 119 metres. For Warrington, George Williams had 152 metres, Matty Ashton with a try, 151 metres and 2 clean breaks, and Darrell Clark with a try assist and 49 tackles.
Yeah, just because it's a blind alley doesn't mean it's necessarily short, I suppose, would be the George Williams line on that.
I was going to say running in circles, but I thought, no, that's too mean. But we both thought exactly the same thing.
Alan Walker said the Penny Pink Panthers easily beating the choking Parramatta L's at the HJ. I think the concept of bringing over NRL games is a good one.
Callum Percy 99 says outstanding performance from Wigan. I thought Harry Smith had his best game in a Wigan shirt. Also Faz was superb. Couldn't believe the Warrington stewards took the drum off me inside the stadium when Warrington fans have one of their own. Great day out though. Once again, bring on Ellen Road.
Do you know, I saw some stuff on Facebook asking about where Callum's drum was, and now we know. Because there was one from the Warrington fans, so yeah. EFC78JU said, we barely couldn't get hold of any of the Wigan players, not even a bit, as the Cherry and Whites was a stronger team. And one of the tries was like that error that Bevan French made in the grand final at Hull versus St Helens, but still the wire struck back, but was not enough for it to be a close match. Embarrassing wire. We go again after this break for the Challenge Cup semis.
Jen K says this felt like a big win for Wigan, especially as we haven't won there since 2017. Looked a great night to be in the Wigan stand. For Warrington, it reminds me of the early days of Adrian Lamb. He went from bad to worse, but we ended up second at the end of the season. I hope they give Darryl Powell enough time to get things back on track.
Lee Whitnell said, I went through all the stages of a Wire fan season: excitement, hope, anger, embarrassment, dejection, and finally resignation in the first half of this game. We were completely unable to defend our line and allow Wigan players to make meters like they were Make-A-Wish kids. The defending for Farrell's is setting a high standard for himself for next week. The defending for Farrell's try was shambolic, and Toby King had an awful night. Yes, the French and Marshall tries came off forward passes. Yes, they profited from some lucky bounces, but they would easily have got 50, and we wouldn't have scored those last 2 tries if the Pies hadn't put the queue on the rack with 20 minutes left. This team simply can't compete at this end of the Super League, and that is not good enough. Fucking sort it out. I would say also the Matty Ashton try came off a forward pass, I thought, as well as definitely 2 Wigan tries. Well, definitely the Marshall try was a forward pass, and the French one on replay looks like it was.
But, early contender for review of the week. Matt Speakman says, just got it so right tonight. Solid from 1 to 17, great support from the travelling fans, and a great show of togetherness from the boys not selected afterwards. Took our best player off at half time and still stomped all over them until we put the cue on the rack. We even celebrated Walker's try. That's how easy it got. Why couldn't handlers near the line and cacked their pants every time Jay got the ball?
They only had to worry about that for half a game. Neil Ormston said, as Darryl Clark lost on the 6 again penalty lottery, I too got done by the smart motorway speed camera randomizer on the drive home to top it off a rubbish night. Yeah, that's unlucky, Neil. Outplayed in the forwards, line defence also awful. Some nice touches in attack, but too few and far between. Run of the mill for this year then. Credit Wigan, they were good, but we'll still get Dick next week.
We'll see. Paul the Viking says, it looked like it was going to be a close game after 10 minutes, but then Wigan stepped up a gear. Wigan seemed to ease off the gas towards the end, allowing Wire to bring the score a little closer.
Ro Hayden said, brilliant win for the Warriors. Warrington had some good opportunities but couldn't get over the line.
White Pie says, turns out it isn't their year. Where do I start with that Wigan performance? Utterly dominated the game from the start, and Harry Smith outplayed his opposite number. George, who? Field provided this time, frightening Wire's left edge to death as he ran in 4 tries, including number 109 off the pearl off another mega offload. Second half saw Field rested and 2 Marshall tries plus 1 from Havard that put the result beyond doubt. Wigan switched off in the last 10, which saw 2 Wire tries and made the score look a bit better for Wire. The best moment was the footage of Lee Brayers celebrating the win by leading the Wigan team song in the dressing room. Perfect prep for the Challenge Cup semi-final against Saints next weekend.
Rich Owen said, shocking defensive performance by the Wire. To concede 40 points and lose a game at home in that manner is really poor. We were well beaten by the better team. We play well in patches, but any sign of adversity in a game and we crumble straight away. We'll struggle to make the playoffs this year unless things dramatically improve. Catalan's away next, so it doesn't get any easier. Yeah, a lot of people have touched on it. Wigan, the game was won after an hour and then Wigan put the cue on the rack. I mean, Field was taken off at half-time as well, but Bateman was taken off, wasn't he, just after the hour mark? And I don't think the intensity was there from the others. Bevan French was knackered after that run out of his own in-goal, which was amazing, but then he was knackered because he's not quite got the fitness levels back yet to where they need to be playing full-back, I don't think, but still some impressive moments from him. Meant that it wasn't too much of a blow when Field wasn't there. I think that kind of like it didn't matter. Like it just meant the celebrations for winning the game started on the hour mark and then just kept going until 10, 15, 20 minutes more after kickoff. It was a great night to be in the Wigan end. I'm not gonna lie. I loved it.
Honestly, this game was so easy. Like, it was over after 50 minutes. Absolutely over. Warrington were nowhere. Their big players were completely absent in many ways. Some of their best moments came from young players. Like Riley Dean's try was a good try. Danny Walker's try was kind of enterprising stuff, but their big players are just not there. I was
really
kind
of expecting more from Toby King in that sort of matchup against Ian Thornley, and Ian Thornley absolutely had him on toast.
Yeah, it was embarrassing how good Thornley was made to look. I don't mean any disrespect to him either. But he's not a world beater.
No,
but,
they've got 2 of the best centres in the competition, and we've got 2 players in our centres who are kind of, to be honest, not really first choice caliber players for a top of the table side, but they played differently. It's their attitude that makes them better than what they necessarily are by the attributes, and they had that application and attitude across the board for Wigan in this game.
Yeah. Until
the last 20 minutes.
Oh yeah, but I mean, when you're that far up, there isn't a team alive that doesn't clock off.
Especially when you've got a big game next week, and
Yeah,
thinking more about that.
I honestly like Warrington were absolutely nowhere in this.